I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some leash and stick it in the bullroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some leash and stick it in the bullroom. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Taking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the farm, feeling like the golf. Don't worry about the haters, got the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a metal P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. Some leash and stick it in the bullroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then a middle P. How to get myself a bag before the bull run. How to take some leash and stick it in the bullroom.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I'm the team lead here, and this is our live AMA, coming to you every Monday and Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. I'm joined by my co-host and fellow team member, LA, how are you today?
I'm good. What's up, everybody?
All right, we got a really jam-packed one today. It's going to be a long one, so I'm warning everybody now. The beautiful part is that these are recorded, so if you can't make it all the way through, you can come back and listen to the recording. But that being said, let's get a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Again, all of the engagement on YouTube is directly beneficial to our ecosystem. We use the ad revenue to support our ecosystem, and this is a great way for everybody to stay up to date with everything. So, all right, a ton of announcements and some updates, as well as some guest speakers. And we have Kirk from Speakeasy that will be discussing his new drinks token protocol launch this weekend. He will be on at the very end of this AMA, so make sure you stick around all the way to the end if you want more info on that. But before we get to that, we have a lot to discuss about L1X and L1 DeX. So there was a massive AMA from L1X yesterday on their Discord that was also recorded as well. So you can find that on their YouTube channel, and we can also probably post that video directly after this AMA. But it was a lot that was released, and a Medium article that we're about to go over together in 1 minute. But the long and the short is that they had a lot of updates on their roadmap and the potential rollout of how the chain will end up going live. So we'll talk about that in 1 second. Again, also, we'll talk a little bit more about the public sale. Again, along with that update yesterday, they are rolling out their next public sale that we will be hosting. So if you're in the US or don't want to KYC, you can go into the public sale through EMP directly, just like we did with the private sale. Again, this is all compliant as well because we run everything through our trust, and then we airdrop the tokens based on what contribution you may or may not have made, and then we do all the documentation with L1X. So, and again, we'll also answer some questions along the way if you want to know more as we go. But I think the number one thing is to go through this article. I think it gives a great overview of what the new rollout is, and then we can talk a little bit more in depth. So, LA, I'm gonna pull it up on YouTube. If you can read the article section by section, and then I'll elaborate on each part. Does that sound like a plan?
Perfect.
All right,
All
let me
right.
bear with me here while I pull it up. One moment. All right, hopefully we can all see this. All right, hopefully that's coming through. Let me double check.
Yep. Yep, it is.
All right, awesome. Thank you, LA. All right, go ahead. I'm gonna let you read it, and then we'll pause at each section and discuss.
Okay, so what is Layer 1X Mainnet Beta? Mainnet Beta is the next stage of the exciting roadmap Layer 1X has outlined over the next 4 years. Mainnet Beta launch will be at the end of August this year, and the Mainnet Beta phase will run until January 2024. Oh, that literally always happens.
It wouldn't be an AMA without that. No worries. Go ahead, LA. Yeah.
The benefit of the maybe you guys should play a drinking game, and every time I say Mainnet Beta, you have to take a drink.
I like it. Now we're having fun.
Because apparently they say that a lot in this article. The benefit of the Mainnet Beta phase is that the focus for the 5 months of Mainnet Beta is to onboard a maximum amount of active Layer 1X users and developers on the protocol that will be creating the Web3 ecosystem on Layer 1X. This will create a much more robust ecosystem for Layer 1X at full mainnet launch in January 2024.
Perfect. So I know we'll go in the sections down below, but let me just kind of speak real fast. So I think, again, we've been in touch with L1X through building L1 DeX for literally months now, and there was a lot of stuff that we were trying to brainstorm with them behind the scenes, but a lot of things that, we had no say in either. And so, again, this is simply just to give everybody an update of where we're at and a little bit of my personal thoughts of why the rollout has been done this way. And what LA just said in that first little intro paragraph, I think where this comes from is, although the chain and the tech is ready and will meet the original rollout of August, I think there is some concern that we've seen with a lot of layer ones where the chain goes live, but there really isn't anything being built on that chain. And obviously it takes time to build up the infrastructure. And so by doing it this way, the 5 month kind of lead up to mainnet going live in the January allows a ton of infrastructure, not only the DEX that we're going to be involved with, but other protocols, other projects, other, again, some things that I may not be able to talk about, but everything that's in their white paper and now roadmap that they'll be able to build for the next, 5 months leading up to mainnet. So I think that was kind of the overarching goal of all this. But all right, I'll let you go into the specifics. I'll let you go ahead.
All right. So objectives during mainnet beta phase. Number 1, launch the protocol with boot up nodes and Genesis block that will enable transactions, block, and accounts to update the state of the decentralized database. The protocol will be launched with a few boot nodes that will be divided into event listener, transaction execution, and signing broadcasting nodes that will set the Genesis block. And at this stage, the network will be updated and upgraded only through system accounts on a regular basis. Coin generation and distribution will occur following the creation of the Genesis block.
Yep. So again, this is much more technical than even I am privy to. Again, I don't consider myself a developer, even though I know more than the average crypto user for sure. But I think again, this has to do with more of a security measure and just making sure that once the Genesis block is created, again, Genesis block means the very first block of the blockchain, and that once it's created, there really is no going back. So if there was a potential issue, you know, even if you do a bunch of testing in testnet or, you know, beta launches, mainnet is its own animal. So once you go to mainnet, if there is a problem, you have to fork the entire chain. So I think this is part of the again thought process behind getting the boot nodes and the initial Genesis block during a mainnet beta rather than a mainnet public launch. So, all right, awesome. Number two.
Number 2, launch smart contract standards and interfaces that will allow developers, projects, and Web3 participants to start building custom contracts, deploy on the protocol, and interact with Layer 1X. Smart contracts include fungible and non-fungible contracts, staking, swapping, lending and borrowing, tokenization of assets, NFT, and cross-chain contract hosting, for example, sale and leasing, and health-based smart contract on a cross-chain level. Documentation around smart contract interfaces, standards, configurations, and developer documentations will be released that will allow developers to create an account into the developer portal and get their custom APIs to connect to the protocol. The L1X node containing the virtual machine, clustered database, discovery, communication, and other services will allow developers to connect to the nodes, deploy contracts, and allow interactions with the protocol. Smart contract interfaces with the required methods and events will be provided to the developers to build their first Layer 1X and XTalk smart contract. Later in the mainnet beta phase, the Layer 1X contract ID standard will also be launched.
Perfect. So again, this just backs up what I was saying a little bit earlier about getting the infrastructure in place. And really, again, from what I've seen, you know, and I hate to use PulseChain as an example because they're finally starting to pick up momentum just in time for our secret project, which we'll talk about later. But, you know, what we saw with PulseChain was the bridges opened and there was crickets. I mean, other than providing liquidity on the DEX, nobody had really built on PulseChain, and you know, it's still an EVM compatible chain, but developers have to build, and you have to give them time to do that on a mainnet. So again, that I think is where the thought process is. I'm not speaking for L1X in any of this. This is just my personal opinion, and knowing, you know, the relationship that we have, we thought it would be important to come on and kind of explain things. So yeah, and I think this is bullish, especially for the DEX as well, which we'll talk about in number 3 here with SDKs. But the DEX itself, again, we want to make sure that everything is running smooth, you know, and the fact that they're going to still enable the vesting schedule, the staking and swapping, you know, that is all part of what plays directly into the DEX as well. And so, again, having this live in a beta version before, you know, an actual mainnet or I'm sorry, an actual public launch, I think could solve some potential issues. But yeah, all right, go ahead, LA, to number 3.
All right. Launch precompiled SDKs that will have integrated smart contracts, primarily focusing on wallet, DeFi, gaming, and healthcare. Multi-smart contract interfaces that will focus on using multi-method and events structure for DeFi projects to plug and play with configurational options. This will provide and bootstrap multiple contract benefits from a cross-chain perspective. Release of L1X Wallet SDK that will allow the developers to use the library to send payloads to the protocol.
Yeah, so this one is really important in terms of its relevance to the deck. So, and again, I got to be careful what I disclose and don't disclose, as I don't know if a lot of it is even allowed to be talked about yet. But there is going to be a major focus on the L1X wallet. Now, again, that doesn't mean that MetaMask or Rabi or any of the other wallets that you use will not be compatible with L1X, but it does mean that using the L1X wallet itself will give a ton of major benefits. And one of those things relates to the DEX directly. Again, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it, so I won't. But it's important to know, that not only are they planning on launching a full layer one chain with groundbreaking interoperability, but L1X also wants to take over the wallet market by having everybody utilize their specific wallet. And with that comes a ton of benefits, including being able to run your own node, which I don't know, we may get into this in a minute, but as one of the points I want to bring up is just by using the wallet alone, you are eligible for validator rewards, which is incredible. I mean, imagine, being on BSC or Binance Smart Chain. All of us are on BNB because of EMP. Imagine just waking up one day and seeing, more BNB in your wallet because you were selected as a validator just for participating on the chain. Well, that sort of situation would happen on L1X as long as you're using the L1X wallet. So it will also, again, incentivize you to use all the different features of L1X as a whole. So yeah, this is super exciting. And the SDK, that stands for Standard Developer Kit. That will be again a code base that we can easily share with other protocols and other developers that make it a lot easier to build and to onboard people onto L1X. So you're not literally writing the code from scratch, especially it being, new groundbreaking tech that people may not know how to utilize. With an SDK, it's literally just like a plug and play, option for those developers. So anybody, again, a game, DeFi, healthcare, whatever the sector is, they can utilize the interoperability by simply just having this set of code or an SDK that L1X will provide. And so again, this all is much easier accomplished during more of a mainnet beta rather than a mainnet public. So, all right, awesome.
Awesome. Number 4, launch L1X Wallet that will allow the users to create accounts and interact with smart contracts hosted on the protocol. The L1X Wallet Google Chrome extension will allow users to create Layer 1X accounts and interact with smart contracts that are provided by the protocol and the applications that are built with and upon the protocol.
Perfect. So yeah, I kind of skipped ahead a little bit, but yeah, that was my point, is that there's a heavy focus on the wallet as well. And again, I think L1X will take a lot of the market share from MetaMask or Rabi or whatever wallet you do use now, because of this, again, ability to interact with contracts directly, not only in what you're used to now as a Web3 where you connect, your MetaMask and then you interact with the smart contracts, but they're bringing that to a whole nother level. And again, I don't know what I'm allowed to say. I know Cody is heading up the wallet development, so we may be able to bring Cody on after, now that this is getting more and more public. I'm sure he'd be happy to discuss. But just imagine your MetaMask that much more user friendly, and to a point where you could basically do everything from the wallet itself, and not have, I know even me, I have about 500 tabs open in my web browser. That might not be something you have to do anymore with the L1X wallet. So again, I'm gonna stop there. I don't know what I'm allowed to say and not say, but all right, number five.
It's a real problem
Yeah, it
to
is.
not want to spill the
I
beans.
know, totally. Yeah, yeah.
Number five, launch L1 DeX. This is the exciting part. Launch L1 DeX that will allow users to interact with Mainnet-Beta ready smart contracts. L1 DeX will be the first DeFi project on Layer 1X that will be using the Layer 1X DeFi SDK, allowing users to native and cross-chain stake, swap, lend, and borrow with configurable balancer pools.
Yeah, so there you go. I know if you've joined our AMAs, you've been privy to some of that alpha, but this is the first time that alpha has been released publicly from the L1X side. But yeah, all of this is in the works again. Um, Kevin, the founder, as well as the devs from DexFi, are literally the ones building out this SDK that we will be the first to use and we'll be able to provide this to other, protocols to become even more interoperable with the DEX. So again, we've mentioned this before, but we'll have the ability to tap into liquidity that current DEXs are providing, and reward them in a way that it's literally a no loss to them. And now we have massive liquidity on every single chain that L1X is interoperable with, all through this simple bit of code uh, that we call an SDK. So again, that's super bullish and could mean literally millions and millions of dollars of liquidity within the DEX because we can tap into other DEXs and reward them for participating with us. So, yeah, that alone is going to drive mass adoption and is super exciting for us as the DEX as how we move forward.
For sure. All right. Claiming L1X coins in August 2023. Once the wallet has been configured, users will head over to the Layer 1X website and connect a wallet to claim coins. Detailed instructions will be released prior to the coin generation and release. This will allow users to claim your coins into a user's wallet, which will then be ready to be staked at the protocol level.
Yes, so again, the only negative downside to again all this announcement, which we've seen in some of the chatter today, is that it doesn't look like we'll be able to sell L1X during beta. However, you will be able to claim your tokens, and you will be able to actually start earning on your tokens. So whether it's staked, to a node or you're providing liquidity to the DEX, there'll be a ton of ways that you can still earn on those tokens until the mainnet beta is over. And again, I know they had put a date on as January. Again, off the record, I would say, if things are looking good and they're able to launch sooner than that, I'm sure that that is on the table. But again, all the functionality will still be there. And this really, again, avoids that initial speculation that a lot of layer one see where there's a sell-off because there's nothing to do on that chain. Well, now with a mainnet beta, there will be plenty to do on the chain with multiple projects and multiple partners and a lot of things for you to do with your L1X where they're hoping to avoid that potential sell-off. So again, that's my personal opinion. That is not the views and opinions of L1X. I just wanted to bring that up as well. But yeah, the fact that you can claim tokens and again get your vesting schedule started, that's another cool feature. Which it may say it in this later on, but if you were in the pre-sale, your vesting schedule will start in August still. So you were vested for 15 months. Well, that starts immediately. So you're not having to add another 5 months to the vesting schedule. And now you're vesting for 20 months. So don't worry about that. You will still get your vested tokens every month from the launch in August. So, all right, awesome.
Awesome. So number 7, staking L1X coins at the protocol level as a node and as an individual. There are 2 ways to participate in staking at the protocol level: hosting a full validator node, FVN, and or by participating in the protocol level staking. The minimum amount of coins that will be needed to host a full validator node is 50,000. This allows users to participate in the consensus mechanism. To host a full FVN, users must have an FVN NFT. Can you say that 5 times fast, AJ?
Yeah, no, you're doing a great job, Ellie. Oh man.
which can be obtained by holding at least 100,000 coins acquired in the public sale. For users not running FVNs but wanting to stake coins to an FVN, the minimum number of coins that will be needed to stake into the liquidity pool at the protocol level is 100 coins. These will be delegated to a FVN. More information to be released on August 10th.
Yeah, so there's a lot to unpack here. So, and this is gets me excited because I know I will definitely be running some validators, and I know EMP as a protocol will hopefully be able to do that as well. Um, but there's two things to take away here. So, a full validator node or FVN, that is an actual node that again provides consensus to the protocol. So, you know, you're actually processing the blocks to make sure, you know, that the blockchain is functioning the way it should, and you're rewarded for doing so. So, again, just like in proof of work, you're mining the Bitcoin. L1X is a variable proof of stake, where by staking you're actually able to process those transactions. So that's exciting. Again, any kind of consensus mechanism helps secure the protocol. And if you have a validator, you're instrumental in that. And then again, if maybe that's not in your wheelhouse, both technically or financially, you can still participate again in the protocol level with as little as 100 coins. So it's exciting that they've offered that as well. So everybody can participate and then potentially earn rewards on that. So again, if any of you have been involved in proof of stake protocols, this is all very straightforward. You know, you basically delegate your 100 coins or stake them, and then those make up the larger validator nodes that either entities will run, or I'm sure L1X themselves will run a bunch of nodes. So, and all that, there'll be much more info on that. Again, you read it right there, August 10th. Um, but yeah, this is exciting, and this would be a potential reason why you would want to go into the public sale. So, again, as I mentioned earlier, EMP is running the next public sale. If you did not get in the private sale, or maybe you got in the private sale, the only way to get the preferential treatment on guaranteeing that you're able to run a full node is by getting 100,000 coins. So that would be a contribution of $50,000 into the public sale, and then you can again run up to 2 nodes with those amount of coins. But um, it's exciting, and again, if you already, I know we're gonna get this question. If you did already contribute in the pre-sale and have 100,000 coins, unfortunately, you don't get that NFT for the validator node. But you have to remember that you got your tokens at 10 cents rather than 50 cents. So it is, again, it's fair for everybody. But I know people are going to ask, well, I went in the pre-sale, can I run a node? And the answer is you're just going to have to, if there are more nodes available, I'm sure they'll let others open nodes, or you can maybe buy this NFT on the secondary market to make sure you can run a node. And we don't even know what the APR on the nodes will be. Typically, they're fairly low. You're only probably looking at a 10% APR in terms of tokens. But remember, those tokens, could 100 to 1,000x over the life of L1X. So running a node could be extremely, extremely not only beneficial but profitable as well. So, all right, awesome. Number 8, LA. Or did I answer all that? Was there anything you want? Did I miss anything?
Yeah, no, that was
Okay.
great. Yeah. Number 8, use coin as the gas fee at the protocol level. Users can use coins as transaction fees on the Layer 1X network only for the mainnet beta phase.
Okay, so that's pretty self-explanatory. You would use it just like anything else. It's a gas token.
Okay, cool. So number 9, Layer 1X Developer Portal and Layer 1X Explorer. The developer portal that is already available will be hosting development documentation and tutorials on building with the Layer 1X protocol for information on smart contracts, SDK, wallet, and improvements. The Layer 1X Explorer will be available to check the transaction information, block production, and network statistics.
Yeah, so again, this goes back to what I was saying earlier about building the infrastructure. By having this developer portal, it'll allow developers to just completely uh, build their asses off on Layer 1X and have everything ready to roll for them. And, we didn't really talk about this yet, but this also gives us another 5 months of promotion. So, again, I think that's another thing I don't think it was really talked about in the AMA last night. But by doing things this way, it gives L1X, a much longer runway to advertise. And, I think the timing is going to be really good as well with the impending bull run. And so, yes, it's a bummer that it appears things are a bit delayed. But from a technical standpoint, nothing is delayed. You're just not able to dump your tokens, which I know all of us, are wanting to support L1X for the long run and know that over time the price will go up. But again, I think those are just some of the things that the team thought about and was considering for the most successful launch that we can possibly have. So, but yeah, this is great news. Again, full developer portal ready to roll. And that was another issue. Again, just to give everybody another example, PulseChain. I mean, we were a bit delayed on the secret project, and that was simply because the infrastructure really wasn't there. All the repositories, even though it's an EVM compatible chain and all the code is written in Solidity, there is a lot of hurdles as a developing on a new chain that are harder than it sounds. So this will be great that L1X has all that ready to roll over the next 5 months, and there can be tons of projects built on L1X before the public mainnet. So, all right, number 10.
All right. Ongoing code audit and reports. Protocol testing is an ongoing activity that is being conducted by the team at Layer 1X, which will include all the components of Layer 1X being tested and monthly reports being released up to full mainnet launch scheduled for January 2024. These will be publicly released and contain Layer 1X protocol updates and performance improvements.
Perfect. So yeah, again, based on what I said earlier in the AMA about not having to worry about a soft fork, again, I don't even know if a lot of people know this that are on the AMA now, but Ethereum had a soft fork in the very beginning. Now, they had to do it because of a scammer that was able to get like 100 million ETH or some crazy amount of ETH, and that's why there is Ethereum Classic. That is the original Ethereum chain, and the foundation decided to fork Ethereum so that that scammer could not have their tokens. Now, again, that's a whole nother conversation on, decentralization or, ethics. But again, there was already a fork of ETH, and so again, I think they're trying to avoid, those early issues that we see with layer ones. And so by doing it this way, they'll be able to audit and run reports, make sure everything's working like it should be. There's nothing fishy. Different bug bounties, so that for the first 5 months, all that's figured out, and then everything's good to go by January. So yeah, another due diligence period for sure.
For sure. All right, so let's tackle some of these FAQs. So where can I use the Layer 1X coin for gas transactions during the Mainnet beta? When Mainnet is launched in January 2024, the coins will have universal gas token utility across all the chains connected to Layer 1X. However, during Mainnet beta, the coin will be used for Layer 1X protocol transactions only.
All right, so let me just clarify real quick, because even I know some people are still confused about this. So if you're using the L1X wallet itself and you have L1X tokens, you are able to transact on any chain utilizing L1X tokens. So if you're, again, trying to do a transaction on, Ethereum, you can use the L1X token to pay for the gas fee, but you still have to pay the dollar value of that gas fee. So again, I know in the very beginning there was some gray area here, and we went back and forth on this a few times, but L1X doesn't actually reduce the fees on the native chains. You still have to pay those respective gas fees, but you can do it with L1X token. So you don't have to have tokens on every chain that you want to interact with. Now that usability will not be live until the mainnet launch. So again, you only will be able to use L1X as a gas token within its own ecosystem. So again, the DEX or any other protocols that build, within this beta phase, you can use for gas fees. But if you're trying to transact on other chains, then you will have to wait until the mainnet beta. I'm sorry, the actual mainnet public. So, all right, does that explain that, LA?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
perfect. Okay, so when does vesting start for private and early investor round? Vesting starts from Genesis block, which is at the start of mainnet beta. Public sale tokens will be available at Genesis block. See page 91 of the white paper for more info. And while we're on this question, I'm just going to ask this because it was asked in the YouTube comments. So I figured you can tackle this question now. If we can't sell the tokens, then why is there vesting?
Yes, so it's just that the vesting will begin. So, meaning, again, that the reason that you were able to get tokens at a discounted rate of 10 cents rather than 50 cents is because you have to have, you can't get them all at once. And this is the way it's been from day one. And it's really bullish for you for L1X because you don't want when a token goes live, you don't want a ton of supply ready to be dumped. So the vesting is actually really bullish for price. But yeah, the fact is that the vesting period starts during, again, just in August when the beta goes live. And I think that was a great compromise because if it wouldn't have happened that way, then you would not have gotten any tokens until January, which is another 5 months. So now instead of a 15-month vesting, it's still 15 months, but you're waiting 20 months. So again, the math works out. Whatever you contributed to the private sale, you get 1/15 of that every month for the first 15 months. So that means that on mainnet launch, public mainnet launch, you will have received 5 months or 5/15ths of your what's that, 1/3, 1/3 of your token allocation to you in January. So that's why I think it was a great compromise that they started the vesting earlier or on time when they said they would. So does that answer it, LA?
Yeah, and just the fact that the vesting schedule is quite a lot longer than the beta phase.
Yeah, totally. And they talk specifically about that in their AMA. So whoever asked that question, please go to L1X AMA and the team, as well as the founders tokens, they have extended their vesting for 20 months with a cliff. So the team and everybody else that wasn't in the private sale, but still early investors, they have what they call a cliff where they're not getting their tokens vested until mainnet, which is awesome again for price because they are going to be behind everybody else that is starting to get their vesting in August. So again, they talked about that specifically in the L1X AMA, but and I think you skipped one too, LA. So, the one right above this, I don't think we went over.
Oh, did I miss one? Let's
Yeah.
see.
The how and when can I stake my coin in
Okay.
mainnet beta? Yeah.
Okay. How and when can I stake my coin in mainnet beta phase? You will be able to delegate to stake your coins to the full validator nodes shortly after the mainnet beta launch. A how-to of this process will be released in mid-August to ensure users understand the process.
Perfect. So again, if you're getting, if you're a private investor, you're getting your vesting schedule. In that first month, you get 1/15 of your tokens, and you will be able to delegate your stake immediately. So again, that's what that means, and you'll start earning on those tokens as well. So whether it's, providing the full validator nodes, we're still trying to figure out. We have a pretty big meeting in terms of the DEX tomorrow on whether you'll be able to provide liquidity that early. We may not need the liquidity that early, especially if there's no selling of the token. But that would be another option is that you'll be able to provide liquidity to the DEX early as well. So we'll let you know on that. Again, there are still some variables, especially now that L1X is committed to going in this direction, there may be some variables in terms of the DEX, but we have a meeting tomorrow to figure all that out. So, all right, when will coins become transferable? Right? Is that where we're at, LA? I'm sorry. Go back.
I think so, yes. Coins will be transferable upon the launch of mainnet, scheduled to be at the end of January 2024.
Yeah, so if you again are looking to transfer to a different wallet, God forbid your wallet was compromised, none of that will be available to be rectified until January 2024. And I would reach out to L1X directly for more clarification on that as well.
Will there be another raise prior to mainnet launch? Yes, there will be another raise of 50 million hard cap prior to mainnet launch. More details will be released after completion of the current public sale.
Yeah, so
That's pretty.
yeah. So I will have more info on this. Again, right now we do one day at a time. There will be again a public sale that we're starting in what 4 days? Time is flying.
On Monday, yeah.
Yeah, on Monday. So but then yeah, there is plans for it looks like another raise, which I'm sure will be um at a higher price or have some other stipulations behind it, so that there's a rollout with that. But more info again, I don't even have that info, so we'll just have to wait on that for sure.
So that being said, that kind of takes us through the whole article. When it comes to the specifics of how this affects L1 DeX, I'm going to defer to you, but we're going to have more information and do a similar type of breakdown for you and how that affects it. But we wanted to do this prior to the public sale starting on Monday, just to make sure that all of you understand what all of this means, because we always 100% of the time want everything to be completely transparent and for everyone to understand, prior to making decisions about your future. So we wanted to just go slow, break it down piece by piece. But as we get closer to the launch of the DEX and that, we want to obviously do a similar type of AMA and break down kind of how this is all going to impact the DEX and how things will work and all of that.
Yeah, I could not agree more, LA. And again, I think we get spoiled a little bit. Like we have like unprecedented access to L1X because of our relationship. But that being said, they have to run their own protocol and chain the way they see fit. Now, again, we have a great relationship. We can work with them on a consulting basis. Obviously, we want what benefits everybody. We want, what's going to do the most for our individual communities and L1X as a whole, but there's some things that, even LA and I, even though we're in 2 meetings a week with L1X, there's some things that, we don't even know until all of you know. So again, to LA's point, transparency is always number one, and we're going to continue to do that the whole way. And I think L1X, well, I know L1X has that same mantra again. But this is like, cutting edge. We say it here all the time. There is some things that can't really be discussed until it's ready to roll. And so again, that also applies to the DEX as well. So these recent announcements should not really impede the DEX, or there's nothing that's protocol breaking or upsetting in my eyes. Again, I think obviously having access to tokens um, in August was what we were hoping for. The delay is a bit maybe disappointing, but it's all for the greater good of the DEX and L1X as a whole. So and all of you that are token holders, I think there's this mentality of you want to have as many tokens as you can have, but you got to realize it's about token appreciation as well. So if it means you have to wait and that delayed gratification, but the token value goes up and the ecosystem is more healthy, there's more projects, there's more earning opportunities with your tokens. I mean, all of that is again bullish for L1X long term.
Mm-hmm. And just for the record, when I was saying that we'll do a full breakdown, I was mostly referring to all the juicy stuff of how you're going to be able to earn on your tokens through the DEX.
Yeah, no doubt. And we'll bring on again Dex CEO or Jake from Dex Finance. Uh, we'll do a joint AMA again. I know Cody will be here, Madru. I mean, we have many AMAs in the works. Right now, we just have to focus on the this public sale, and L1X getting their roadmap out, which they have done now as of last night. And now we can really focus on the DEX itself, which not that we haven't been, but like now you'll literally see the DEX come to life on chain. So again, that's really exciting, and it takes a little bit of pressure off as well because God forbid everything was rushed out and we went live at the end of August. I think we absolutely could do that. But if for whatever reason there was an issue with the DEX, that would impact the entire chain. So that is a risk that, I don't think anybody would want us to take. And we saw that with, again, PulseChain. If there is issues with the bridge or the core DEX, that really stunts the growth of the entire chain itself. So we don't want to get in that situation, or even remotely have that be a possibility. So, and everything's moving ahead full speed. I was hoping to drop some screenshots of the DEX, but we'll maybe wait for next week on that. But we've been, again, building on all fronts. So, anything you want me to elaborate on with
It looks
the DEX?
so
Go ahead,
good
LA. Yeah,
though.
I
Oh
know,
my
LA,
God.
doesn't it? Yeah, 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 100%.
But no, I think that that's a great breakdown to not overwhelm people or take too long on it. That felt like a good length. That was about an hour focused on that so far. So let's get to some of our other juicy news.
All right, yeah, no doubt. So we have a lot more to go over. Again, thanks to everybody for their patience. Um, in regards to the public sale, we will be hosting that. So again, Monday the 24th, we'll have more info going out. We're probably only going to do Ethereum, Mainnet, and BSC. I know a lot of people were asking for the same chains. But we literally, there was like $100 of volume on the other chain. So that I think will simplify things. It will be in USDC or USDT. And again, if you were already a $1,000 contributor in the private sale, or you want to contribute 50,000 or more, you just go through L1X directly. They started their sale today. But if you don't want a KYC, or you are, in some of the countries that may be a little more restricted, um, you can go through our page. And LA, we'll be rolling out all that info next week, right? I know you already.
Yeah.
I swear, LA is the most organized person I've ever met in my life. But we have tweets, we have emails, we have everything ready to roll, right?
Yeah, so there's going to be a number of emails coming out with all of the info in it. So make sure you're subscribed to our email list, and that'll probably be the best place to get all of the info as it comes out. It will be a different URL from last time, so you'll want to keep an eye out for that, but we'll be posting it on our Telegram and Discord as well.
Yep, totally. All right, awesome. All right, I think that was it with L1X and L1 DeX. Again, we'll get into some Q&A here at the end. So, all right, we have a few different things we can talk about. The one thing that I think was extremely bullish from the last AMA was our token supplies. So I know he may be driving at the moment, but Vino, are you able to chime in, brother? I know you and I did a deep dive on some other things, and you were one of the first ones to bring it to my attention on how truly limited the supply of EMP really is. So I'd love to give you the floor, brother, if you want to talk about it. Are you able to, or you want us to come back to you?
Can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear.
Awesome, great. Had a hiccup with my Bluetooth there. Yeah, so the last AMA you had said that the circulating supply of EMP would be about 9 million, if I recall correctly, from the last AMA. And I did a little breakdown of how I believe you got that number. And me, as a guy that likes to dive into things and explore the blockchain, BSC scan, and everything else, I actually reverse engineered how you came up with those numbers.
I love
and
it.
mathematically, they do check out. So I had a problem with the percentages of EMP holders that was being used, and then I finally kind of found a sweet spot with 60% of users and helpers or anything. P has 3,600 users that hold EMP token natively, and I actually derived from the contract and using that 60% based off of the amount in the farm. There's really only 24 million tokens left circulating, and if you deduct the amount that is in as well as the nodes, and you hold on, I gotta cough real quick, excuse me. Whenever you deduct that amount, it comes out to actually 8.8 million. And I was a little intrigued with the math, so I dove into the LP balance of both the detonator as well as the farm balance. And I believe the farm balance is about to 3 million. I think it's 2.8 million in the farm, and half of that is EMP, and that's not even in accounting for any amount of ETH that is used to purchase EMP off of the marketplace. So if you take that into account and then add the detonator balance, which is about $262,000 as of today, even if 50% of that is EMP off the market for Fusion, you're actually more or less looking at a 5 to 6 million EMP circulating supply. If we take the total supply of EMP, which is 60 million tokens at a 60% sack rate, it's 36 million EMP that's sacrificed directly to Fusion, which is over half, which is really impressive. And I don't think that that's too far of a reach. That's, like I said, that's 60% of people sacrificing for Fusion, which becomes protocol-owned EMP. And then, sorry, I'm driving actually.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's a great breakdown. Yes.
The detonator specifically has about 1.5 million EMP within it. And the reason that I bring up detonator is because that's a locked contract right now, and any claims going into Fusion in the future are, well, they will become protocol-owned liquidity you can earn on. So with the detonator having over 1.5 million EMP, essentially removed from circulation, not accounting for the ETH, remove even from circulation, that just infinitely reduces the amount of sell pressure that we could actually see on EMP as we move forward to Fusion. And I was skeptical in the past, and I've raised concerns with you on Fusion, but EMP is the main token of our protocol, and eShare is the transactionary token. And I think with how much EMP we have locked between the detonator and the nodes, and I didn't even touch on the nodes, I guess, the nodes have a little over 4.7 million EMP in them, and as those get claimed out, those go directly to Fusion to build users' grid ownership, but that's also protocol-owned EMP. So really, with not only just the contract addresses that own EMP, but more importantly, the protocol-owned contract addresses that owned locked EMP, reduces the supply an absurd amount. And once you factor in the potential buy pressure from external revenue or the ETH that's maybe going to be sold off for EMP and go towards the central grid, at the end of the day, it could actually get as low as only 4 million EMP circulating in supply, which is very bullish. And in my opinion, I feel like I'm kind of rambling here, but in my opinion, if you're gonna be buying now, you're getting essentially a 4.9x on your money in Fusion whenever you sacrifice that. And once Fusion goes live, there's such a limited supply on the actual open market that it would cost infinitely more in the future, whether it's 6 months, 12 months, or however long. I don't see a scenario where the peg drops so far that the return on investment is as good as it is now, if that makes sense. Now, I know I rambled a little bit there. If you want me to expand on anything, I can.
No, I love it, Vino. Man, this is what I'm talking about. I know this is giving me the old school vibes when we had Machu before he was so busy getting on and talking about the math behind the protocol. You're our new Machu, Vino. So yeah, and again, I mean, this is stuff that the average user might not be thinking about. And I love it when we do these deep dives, and it's what Fusion is built on is the math, and math doesn't lie. I mean, we can get on here and try to, shill or, explain why Fusion is so bullish. But when you really look at the math behind it, that is where, again, the numbers don't lie. So yeah, I love the breakdown, Vino, and I couldn't agree more. I don't know. The only other thing I wanted to maybe touch on before we take some questions, which, and again, I'm a legend at putting you on the spot, but I don't know if you even looked at this. I know I did, so I can chime in if you didn't. But a lot of the holders of EMP don't really have a lot of EMP either. So, in other words, even with that 9 million or 6 million or maybe even 4 million, that would be a circulating supply on EMP after Fusion, the top 100 wallets, I mean, they have way less than, I think the highest holder is probably team members at, or the treasuries at 1 million EMP. I think, the average user is probably, what, maybe 5,000 EMP, if that. So, yeah, I don't know if you want to comment on that a little bit, but that's also great for distribution.
Yeah, I did take a peek at that, and apart from contracts that hold EMP, whether they're protocol contracts or outside contracts similar to Up EMP, which I think, if I recall correctly, has almost 4.5 million EMP in it, which again, based off the tax incentive, where if you sacrifice your Up EMP, you aren't paying the exit tax and you're still getting credit for that EMP. That's even more bullish because that gives you the incentive to actually go into Fusion and not claim tax-free.
For sure.
So, and I didn't even calculate that into the rough numbers that I kind of came up with. So it could even be lower than 4 million. Like I said, it depends how many people go from Up EMP into Fusion. But I did actually, to go back to your question, I did look at the holder list. And apart from the protocol-owned contracts or other contracts that utilize our token, I would say it's between the highest holders are between 5,000 and maybe 20,000, depending on how much EMP they've earned from the boardroom, and they're just kind of sitting on it. And another thing that I did take into account is actually E-bonds. So that could be. We could have a lot of users that own E-bonds that also have a bunch of EMP. So I think really 5,000 to 20,000 is a very good target for the average user within EMP. And that number comes out to be, we'll just use 10 cent EMP as a reference. It's about $500 to $2,000 worth of EMP. And whenever you include bonds, that's 500 to 2,000 between the two. So, because I know there's a lot of OGs that buy up bonds and they've not been able to use them, and they're actually able to use them in Fusion, which I think is also really bullish because they've had an investment in the protocol where they've not been able to earn, and now they're getting almost a 5x on that return.
Yeah, no, great points, Vino. Again, we don't talk about bonds a lot, but yeah, I mean, especially now, buying bonds this far below peg, obviously you have to hope that we get back to peg, which again, it's not if, it's when we get back to peg. But even if you're not confident that we fully recover peg, you can sacrifice those bonds to Fusion, and that is an instant. Again, you don't get that EMP redemption, but you get that dollar value applied to your microgrid or applied to the central grid. So, yeah, I mean, that's another great point, man. So, man, amazing. Well, all that deep dive while you're driving. I hope you're safe, brother. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. But yeah, that was awesome. LA, was there anything on that you wanted Vino to elaborate more on, or any? I know we're gonna get into Q&A, but I
That
think
was
that,
perfect.
yeah, I think that
Yeah,
really did a great job of illustrating what we were trying to say. Yeah.
yeah, no, that amps me up so much. And I think it's just a lesson that so often we get so magnified and so caught just like focusing on what is right now. And it's so important to zoom out and see the bigger picture and keep your eye focused on where we're going and where you're going as an individual. And um, it just to have it all broken down for you from a technical standpoint. And so it's not just all, you know, uh, positive thinking, like the math is actually there, the economics are actually there. The development is actually very powerful and strong and innovative. Like every piece of the puzzle is there.
Yeah,
And
totally.
so now it's time to zoom out and see the bigger picture and not just focus on, oh, we've been below peg for a while. Oh, it's taking a little longer than I'd like it to. Yeah, I get that. AJ gets that. We both want it to come out, tomorrow too. But when it gets broken down for you like this and you get to see the bigger picture and how powerful it is, it really amps me up. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, 100% LA. Again, we're in it day after day, but I think, again, elaborating on this publicly puts things into perspective for sure. So, all right, awesome. Thank you, Vino. Anything else you want to say before we move on?
No, really nothing other than long live EMP. I'm looking forward to the PulseChain project, the secret one, and I'm looking forward to Fusion, L1 DeX, and the L1X Beta. And I could be more happy with my position in crypto than I am now.
Amazing, Vino. Right on, brother. Well, thank you for putting in your effort, all the bricks. Again, Vino has been one that has really stepped up as a army member and really, putting his time in without ever having any expectation of anything in return. So thank you again, brother. And yeah, I mean, those of you that have continued to build, over the last year and a half, whether it's in EMP or other projects that we, like to support and get behind. I think all of you should be very happy with your crypto holdings or your position in crypto as we move into a potential bull run later this year. And if you're not, then now is the opportunity to get excited for your crypto holdings. So, all right, awesome. All right, I think that really is it. We're going to do a Q&A, but before we get into that, I wanted to bring on Kirk. Kirk, are you here, brother? Yep, I think he is. Hang on. Oh, here he is. All right, Kirk, you there?
Hey man, how's it going?
Good, brother. Really good. Sorry, man. We had a long AMA today. You've been patiently waiting, but yeah, are you
Oh, hey,
yeah,
no,
uh,
let us not forget that I am an emperor too.
yes,
And
brother.
so,
So hopefully
um,
you're excited for what you heard over the last hour and a half. So yeah.
yeah, no, it's nice to hear. I really enjoyed the little last thing there with Vino. It reminded me of the old days a little bit.
Yes.
Um, it's nice to hear, some talk about those kinds of things, and yeah, man. I mean, it's interesting. I honestly haven't been following as closely, especially on the L1 DeX thing, but I mean, I'm in the pre-sale and everything, so I'm interested, of course. But as far as EMP and Fusion is concerned, I am excited, and I know that you guys are doing everything you can to responsibly bring that thing out, and so I can't wait to see it.
Totally.
And I was sharing with you the last time we talked privately that, in fact, in the drink side of things, the Speakeasy, we are now slowly started to come into EMP as well. So
Yes,
there,
yes, all full
and
circle
so
again, man. So yeah, and I know
yeah,
you have an awesome launch again. From one project lead to another. I know how daunting it can be for getting things out, but you are launching the new ROI contract this weekend, right?
yeah, that's right. And I appreciate the time that you give me over here to talk about it. And I know that there are quite a few people, emperors that came in and are still interested in that project, which is why I think it's helpful. Plus, we're going to try to continue, as I said, to support EMP and Fusion as we move along and grow. And so I think that we've got the new launch, like you said, coming this Saturday, of the drinks version of the Speakeasy contract. We've made some changes from the BNB version that I think will help it sustain. And we've been running the token itself for about 2 months now, and it is just killing it. I'll real quickly. I don't want to take up too much time because I know this is long anyway.
No,
I'll real
please.
quickly.
Yeah.
I'll real quickly share my screen and show you the chart.
Yeah, let me pull
So
this up.
yeah, so we have been kind of crushing it over the last month or so of of the token. We've been up for 2 months, and you can see that's about 2 months worth of time right there. So about halfway up, we just started really climbing after the initial launch. And so we just overnight, this last night, hit our 10x. So the token has 10x'd in 2 months. And so I'm really, really happy about that, because for the percentage of people who may not have fully ROI'd in the first version of the contract, and they stuck with us and got some token and have been able to, earn in the token before we even launched this version of the protocol. So that's been really exciting. And you're certainly a person, not that you didn't ROI in the contract, I think you did, but you also have been supportive in the drinks token setup, and so you're killing it too. I know
Totally.
you don't have any,
Yes,
you
no
probably
doubt.
don't have enough time
Yeah.
to check that out,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, no doubt, Kirk. Well, again, I know when we win, EMP wins, we all win, brother. So yeah, and that's
yeah. So
another exciting thing is that we're building a foundation for drinks, and I think you've seen that. I mean, we really haven't seen a lot of whales sell. They want to participate, man. So yeah.
yeah, it's been amazing. We did a staking contract to kind of tide everybody over between the two protocols, and we had almost, our token launch was 1 billion tokens, and only half of those were really in the circulating supply, and so of that 500 million, half of them went into our staking contract, and so there was about 250 million tokens that went in there. And now those stakes have all come open, and about 150 of the 250 million has already come out, and nobody is selling.
Yeah,
Even with
amazing.
even with a 10x, nobody is selling. So pretty excited about that. And so we're going to get started this Saturday. And if you were in the first one as an EMPer, you have we've done a replacement. I talked about the last time I was here. You should have all of your replacement NFTs for at no charge in your wallets. So you're ready to come into the new protocol. If you're interested, all you need to do is buy some Drinks token. And that's what's happening from here. And then from here we're gonna keep trying to work this and with the new mechanics we have. And then on the EMP side, we're going to be looking at what we can do with Fusion once that's open, and be definitely talking about how we might be able to get that. Get involved with that as a protocol. So I'm excited about that.
Yep, absolutely, brother. And that'll be hopefully better timing for both of us. And and I know you released a great tutorial video as well. So I guess just maybe we don't really. I don't know. I would love to show the whole thing, but maybe just tell people where they can find that, and maybe give just a super high level overview of how they can get involved on Saturday.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's back to making videos. I haven't done that in a while either.
You were not rusty though. I would not expect anything less from you. So yeah.
Thanks. I'll go ahead if it's okay. I'll throw the link to our YouTube. It's on our YouTube channel.
Yep. No problem. Yep. You can post the link.
I'll throw that. Yeah. I'll throw that up there. And it's about 25 minutes. So it's not short, but it goes through the entire process of what the protocol is all about, and also how to use it. But in short, basically, it's very similar to the initial version. And the way that you would get involved if you didn't get involved at all in the first version of it is it's an NFT based ROI DApp that is a weekly. You interact with the contract on a weekly basis. So basically, the NFTs that you purchase are you're buying up your rate in essence. So if we look really quickly, that's the interface. Let's see, where am I?
Here go ahead. I still have your screen up. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So we have basically. Oh no, this isn't the right page. Hold on. Wasn't for this. Where is it? Let's see. Oh, here we go. Okay. So we base everything on a membership key card, which is the initial NFT that you need to get into the protocol. We've reduced the prices on all of these NFTs, by the way. And so then once you have that, that gets you a fixed 0.25% daily rate. And then you can buy one of 3 cocktails to further boost your rate if you want to. And so then you combine these two together and you get your daily APR, but then you only interact with the contract once a week. And then from there, you are able to earn. And so you would need to buy the Drinks token with which to put in our contract. And you can do that on PancakeSwap if you want, or we also have on our page, we also have our Burn Swap DEX. You can buy it directly on the website, or you can go to PancakeSwap and purchase the tokens that you need to put in the contract. So we're doing that. And then once you get into the contract, I wanted to show you this because you and I were talking about this a while ago, and I don't think you ever saw it. Well, maybe you did in the video. Gosh, why can't I keep these separate? Let's see. Sorry. Which one is it? Which one is it? It's not that one. It's not that one. Oh my gosh. Which one is it? This one. There we go. Okay, so this is the actual interface of the, and it looks very similar to the other one that we're doing. But one of the things that I wanted to point out to people that were in the original one that's new, that's going to be real important, is this whole thing called the exchange, which is basically a user-driven over-the-counter OTC situation that will help us relieve buy pressure or sell pressure rather in the token. So what we're going to be doing here, it's going to be an interesting experiment. We're funding this up with USDT. So what you'll be able to do is when you get your rewards out, if there are funds available in the exchange, you'll be able to just come in and put your Drinks tokens that you want to put into the exchange. it will give you a live conversion at the moment of the price of drinks in USDT, and then also give you a 5% reward on top of that. And so the minute you approve this, those funds are put aside for you 100%, so they're locked up, and then it's a 30-day stake, and then when you come out of it, you're collecting USDT, not drinks tokens. So it allows us to do the exchange ourselves, so we're not getting a sell on the open market. And we've been working over the last month and a half generating revenue for this exchange, so that we have funds to start with, and then we'll hopefully be able to keep up and give people away. As you know, as I've been listening to with EMP for 2 years now, don't sell the token, don't sell the token. Well, obviously we have to sell the token here. We don't have all the options that you have in the EMP ecosystem. So, and we want people to make money and take profits. So we're trying to come up with creative ways to keep that value and that price of the token up. With that, plus the fact that all these millions of tokens are going to go into a locked TVL when the protocol launches, I feel pretty good about the price point of the token. And so we've got some innovations that we're rolling out, and that video that you mentioned goes into all this in detail. I'm just going over it really quickly.
Yeah, no, I love it, brother. And that OTC is super innovative. I love that. And yeah, so again, really awesome stuff. And there is a referral, right? So I'll make sure we post our referral address too.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It's the same. The referral link gives you a credit on your TVL of 5% of the drinks that your referee puts in. So you can definitely take advantage of that too.
Yeah, so when everybody okay, so that's the next question. When does this go live? Saturday, right? What time?
Saturday at noon Eastern. So that's 4 p.m. UTC for those of you who are over there. And so there's really not a huge incentive to worry about being in the second it goes live. It's not really that kind of a thing.
For sure.
There is some incentive in being in on the first day, but you don't need to worry about that from that standpoint. So this Saturday at noon Eastern, we will turn it on and people will be going. And then also one other thing I didn't want to forget is between now and then, we've been doing it for a while, but all buys that are made on the drinks token are also going into a raffle that we have. You get an entry for every $5. And we're going to be giving away a total of 2 million drinks to 8 different winners, with the grand prize being 1 million of them. So you're automatically entered in this if you purchase some drinks tokens. You don't have to put them in the protocol even, but if you purchase them, you're automatically entered into this raffle. So I just didn't want to forget to mention that.
All right, awesome, brother. Yeah, no, that sounds great. And we'll do a post before it goes live on Saturday with a little bit of a recap, a link to that video, and our EMP referral address. So anybody going in under the address will use the referral rewards to support EMP. So yeah, all right, awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, bro, I'm
all right,
excited.
man.
And I think that was it. Oh, one last question. Sorry, Kirk.
Yeah.
And this is a personal question. What's the max that we can get into the contract with?
Yeah, well, we made some changes to that because one of the things that we noticed, in the BNB version, there was a 20 BNB max and 60 BNB out max. And what we had was, it's always that balance. I don't have to tell you.
For sure.
You want the money from whales coming in, but at the same time, you don't want to skew it so much towards the whales that the everyday people can't earn. So, what we realized is that, there was a lot of max wallets that came in right at first. And then if you had a max wallet, then all you were doing was claiming from that point forward. So you didn't really have any incentive to compound and can kind of contribute like everybody else was. So we've changed the mechanic now to where it takes up to somewhere between 6 and 10 weeks to build a max wallet now.
Awesome.
So that is one of the things that's an advantage. Normally, so the protocol after the first week, the max that you can put in at your initial deposit or with continuing deposits as you go along, it's 3 million a week. But for the first 24 hours on Saturday, we've bumped that up to 10 million to let people come in and kind of get a head start without still being able to create a full wallet. 30 million is the full wallet. So basically it's 10 million for day one, 5 million for the rest of that first week, and then 3 million from that point forward. So it will take everybody, even the whales in our thing, at least several weeks to compound and build up their bag, which kind of levels the playing field a little bit.
Perfect. I love it. All right, and that was a great addition or change from the original contract for sure. So, all right.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
all right, man.
All
well,
right. Yeah.
Thanks again for always supporting me personally with this and everything. And, you know, again, I know I'm not around as much, but I am always keeping an eye on the EMP, and my heart is here for sure. And anything that I can ever do to support this this project, you know, I'm going to do it.
No doubt. Well, again, Kirk, you have been with us from the very beginning, and it's been amazing to see you go out on your own journey, and that's what it's all about, man. And we want to support those that have supported us, and yeah, I'm excited for this new era of both our protocol and your protocol. So, right on.
Amazing. Thank you so much, man.
All right.
Okay.
Yep,
Take care.
You got it, Kirk. All right, brother. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, there you have it, everybody. A great update from Speakeasy and their drinks token. Again, as you saw in that chart, that is a beautiful looking chart. A 10x today with a new all-time high, and they are just getting started. So I would say, you know, watch the chart, maybe buy some dips as you get ready for the launch on Saturday if you're not already in. And then it'll be, you know, a typical ROI contract that we all know and love, the DGen side of us. But again, they're using revenue. I know they're involved in Wolf, Elephant, and EMP to provide revenue to, you know, that contract. So again, shout out to Kirk. Much love, brother. So, all right. Well, it's been a really long one today. LA, we're about an hour and a half in, but you want to take some questions?
Before we do that, is there one more thing on the list you wanted to say anything about?
Is there? Oh, am I missing? Oh, I guess there's updates with Fusion, right? So, yeah, we have...
and one more thing, too.
Oh, and the PulseChain project, right? Both? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I guess that would be good, huh? So both of them, again, the finish line I think is in sight. We got a super bullish update about the PulseChain project from the devs literally right before we went on. So if you're in VIP, you may be getting a little bit of a heads up over the next few days. If you're not in VIP, again, hopefully this week is the week. I know we keep saying soon, but it will be here, and it will be spectacular for the PulseChain project. And Fusion, again, major headway being made. We're finalizing the battery contracts and that pricing. And then we'll be able to move into, you know, getting this thing buttoned up and ready to go. So I know there was a lot of chatter on Discord. Somebody said, can you say Fusion will be out by the end of the year? And I said, you know, as a project lead, I can't ever give a timeline until we're ready. And I think people took that as Fusion will not be ready till the end of the year. But again, I'm not here to give a date prematurely. But needless to say, if it's at the end of the year, we have bigger problems than what we have now. So, but anyway, right, LA? Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I did also want to address this. There's been a lot of chatter on Discord with this whole theory that that the L1X launch affects the timing and the timeline of the Fusion launch. And I just want to make it apparently 100% crystal clear that as soon as Fusion is ready to be launched, it will be launched. It has nothing to do with the launch of L1X. We're not waiting until after it launches. We're not purposely trying to launch before it launches. It has nothing to do with it. It's completely separate.
100%.
So I want to make that crystal clear. The two
Yes.
launches are completely separate.
Yeah, there is no ulterior motives here. You know, we try to be as transparent as possible, and unfortunately, the downside of that transparency is that, you know, a delay gets viewed as a delay, even though we've never ever announced a go live date. And until we announce that date, you know, that's what you need to hold us to. And we've never missed a deadline ever. And so again, we want to be fully transparent. We want to talk about the different things we have in the pipeline rather than just surprising everyone. But the downside is that people get impatient and think that we're purposely you know trying to have some sort of a agenda on launch. But yeah, 100% LA is right. I mean, at the minute that it is ready, all of you will know, and we will work backwards from that for the sacrifice phase. And then we'll be, ready to go. So don't sleep on this. I mean, again, eShare and EMP, this is a great opportunity. Again, not financial advice and no expectation of profits from the work of the team or the work of any others. But we're almost there. So, all right, yeah, that was
the math was pretty clear when Vino broke it down about
totally
where we're at and where we're going. And so that being said, we have a question for you.
All right.
This one's about L1X. If the L1X tokens can't be sold from August, will L1X still be live to trade other tokens from August, or will they be from January too?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. That is something that we'll be able to answer after our meeting with the team tomorrow. It'll really just be dependent on, that liquidity pools of the DEX. I would say that yes, you probably can swap other native assets of other chains within the DEX, even though L1X will still be in beta. I mean, that's the whole idea is that everything is functional and usable. You're just not able to sell, the L1X token. So, but again, we'll have more clarity on that after tomorrow. But yeah, great question, and we'll give you an update on Monday.
Awesome. This second one I'm going to read out loud just to use an example of this type of question. We do want to recommend that you ask inside the L1X Discord channel for these type of future details or like really intricate details about the tokens, the blockchain, the launches. We want to help you with all of the sale details and stuff, but some of these more intricate details we may not have the answers to yet. So I would refer this type of question there.
Totally.
And the question is, will the next public sale be at a higher price than 50 cents? And is there any change in price before January? So we don't currently have that information yet. So I wish we could answer it for you, but the L1X team may, if you want to ask that in their Discord.
Yes, great explanation. And yeah, I mean, again, like I said a little bit earlier, we have a great relationship with L1X and we work with them hand in hand, but some things we don't even know about. So, and that would be one of them. So, yeah, I would say ask in Discord, and if we get an answer or update to that, we'll let you know, as we go. But right now, the public sale, is at 50 cents and that will be going live through EMP on the 24th. If you already have the Premier wallet, from a $1,000 contribution in the private sale, or you're looking to contribute 50,000 or more, then you can go right to L1X right now. The whitelist is open, and you can get in early for the next few days. So yeah, all right, awesome.
Awesome. That's actually all the questions that I see.
All right.
So.
Well, that was again a bit of a doozy today. An hour and a half. I appreciate all of you sticking it out for the long run. But
Hmm.
really an informative AMA, LA. Again, I mean, we have so much going on, and you know, we
Hmm.
joke about this all the time, LA. Like, this isn't even like, you know, half or not even 10% of all the irons in the fire that we have. So I guess
Oh,
maybe. Yeah, maybe
I have
drop.
one
Oh,
more. I
oh,
have one more exciting piece of
yeah. I was just
information.
gonna say this. Yeah, yeah. Drop this last bit of alpha. Yeah, go
Yes.
ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead. Yeah.
so I've been going back and forth with the graphic designer to get these explainer videos made, and he's been working on them for me. But there's 6 videos, so it takes a while. Um, but I got back the final version of the first video today, and it's so good. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about it. So I am going to wait until all 6 are ready to start releasing them because they are a series that makes sense to watch one after the other. But it's so good. AJ hasn't seen it yet because I sent it back just to get one tiny typo fixed. But it looks amazing, and I guess I picked the perfect person because like he killed it. So I'm excited.
Yeah, no, LA, we had our morning meeting today, and I was like, I want to see it, but no, she said I have to wait, just like all of you guys. So yeah, we're excited for that, and again, that will be an explainer video about Fusion, right, LA? A high level overview. I think it'll give
Yeah.
people a lot more clarity. Yeah.
Yeah, so the first one starts out by just like a general overview, and then each preceding video breaks down one part of Fusion. So, you know, the central grid, the microgrid, the wallet, the batteries, the marketplace, like all that stuff. I don't know why I said, yeah. Anyways, I'm rambling, but there,
Yeah.
there's different parts of the ecosystem that get broken down into different videos.
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, there you go. There's your little bit of alpha for those of you that stuck around to the very end. So, all right. Well, again, lots happening, lots to take in. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, and please listen to this recording either on Telegram or YouTube over again. I know a lot of you had to jump off early. Or maybe came late, but this would be a great one to listen to for all the stuff that we have rolling out with L1X. So, all right, LA, any final words as we go into the weekend?
Yes. Oh, I actually want to share this with you. Um, I might as well share this with all of you because it was really cool. So, someone asked me yesterday um, if you had a billboard and you could write anything on it, and so that if people walked or drive by it, they would have to see your message. What would you write on it? And I'm curious to know what you would say, AJ. But I want each of you to think about like what would your message be to the world? Because I thought that was such a cool question. I loved it. But uh, all I have to say to sign off is keep your eye on the prize. Like we are going for the freaking moon, man. We are so excited about everything that's coming. We got a lot of bullish news today and like right before we hopped on here. That's why we're in such good spirits. But we're all going places together, and it feels good to be in an environment where we all can win together and no one's, competing to drag someone else down so that they can win, but we all get to go together and win together and celebrate together and be on this journey together, and it's freaking awesome. So you guys are all amazing, and I know that it's been a while sticking it out and waiting for all of this to get built, but it is getting very close, and when it's finally here, it's gonna really feel worth it. And things that you had to work for or wait for always feel sweeter and taste sweeter when you finally get them.
I love it. Yes, LA. Wow. Again, this AMA was fire. I love it when you give us the parting words and a mic drop moment. And yeah, I couldn't agree more. This community has been, literally the pillar of why EMP is successful. And, even below peg, we are successful and we will continue to be successful as we move forward. And it's not what you know, it's who you know, especially in crypto. And we have a commitment that we're not going anywhere. And, Fusion is a great example of us moving into that next phase. That exactly what LA said, where we all can win. We don't have the prisoner's dilemma of others dumping on our heads. We get involved in Fusion and we simply collect passive income with exposure to Ethereum, which, again, that has been our mission statement from literally day one, and we've never derived from that. So, all right, well,
And then,
again, yeah,
always suggests in the VIP group, then we all go party on a yacht.
Yes, the EMP yacht party is coming. I know, I know everybody keeps asking about an in-person get-together. We unfortunately cannot even think about that until Fusion is over. We're again, 12 hours a day getting all this done. But after that, we will have one hell of a celebratory party, yacht party, Disney party, wherever we all can get to. We'll do it, and yeah, all of the Detonator Defender holders and all of our NFT supporters will be getting some special perks at those parties. So, but yeah, anyway, a lot in the works, a lot coming, and yeah, just another great AMA with all of you. So, all right, we will be here again next week, Mondays and Thursdays at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. And if we have the PulseChain project out before then, we will come to you live, or hopefully Monday will be insightful for that. So, all right, I think that's it then. So, good night, good day. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye bye.